Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today is July 10th. We've got one last series recap to go over in the first half, and that includes a no-hitter. Let's do it. Hello, everybody. My name is Steven. This is the middle of the order. How are we doing today? It is a beautiful Monday morning for me, and I'm excited to go over one more series recap in this first half. The first half has come to an end. We've got the All-Star break inbound, Home Run Derby tonight, All-Star game tomorrow. All of that, plus the MLB draft, as well as the Futures game, will be discussed on Friday's episode. That way we have something to talk about. I'm not going to do the episode on Wednesday, like I had previously mentioned. We'll stick to the Mondays and Fridays. So expect the Friday episode to be talking about those four events, as well as what to watch in the second half, any storylines that are interesting, and we'll do standing checks as well. This episode should be much shorter than the previous ones, just because there's not much to do. We've got our series recap, a little bit of baseball news. We have no upcoming series. I'm not going to do the standings check because I'll do that Friday. So it really is just a few things on the agenda today. So without further ado, let's dive on into our series recap. Kicking things off, we've got the Oakland Athletics at the Boston Red Sox, and Boston opens up this series with a 5-run second inning, which put them in the lead for the whole game as the Red Sox take an easy Game 1, winning it 7-3. In Game 2, Alex Verdugo and Jarren Duran both go yard for Boston, as the Red Sox score at least one run in the first 6 innings, resulting in another easy win for the Boston Red Sox as they take it 10-3. And in the final game, after Oakland led for most of this game, Adam Duvall's home run in the 6th is able to help the Red Sox tie this game up, and it would remain tied until the 8th, when Masataka Yoshida hit his 10th home run of the year and put Boston in front once more as the Red Sox finish the first half of the season with a 3-game sweep over the Oakland Athletics, winning it 4-3. The first place NL Braves versus the first place AL Rays, the best of the best. And 2 home runs were all the runs scored in this one, as a solo shot in the first from Wander Franco put Tampa in the lead until the 4th, when Sean Murphy hit a 2-run home run for the Braves as they take the lead, and they would remain like that for the rest of the game as the Braves take the opener, winning it 2-1. In Game 2, Spencer Strider strikes out 11 Rays, while Sean Murphy does it again, this time a 3-run home run, as the Braves take the second game while Tampa loses their 7th straight. What's going on with them? They lose it 6-1. And in the final game, the Rays look to finish their strong first half with a win instead of an 8-game losing streak. And thanks to some home runs from Isaac Paredes and Yandy Diaz, they're able to do so. They avoid the sweep from Atlanta. They beat them and win it 10-4. Next up, we've got the Cubs at New York taking on the Yankees. Carlos Rodon makes his first start in pinstripes. Meanwhile, Jameson Taillon returns to the Yankee Stadium to pitch against the Yankees. Rodon's night wasn't bad as he allowed 2 runs through 5 1/3, including a home run to Cody Bellinger. But Taillon's was really good as he kept the Yankees quiet through 8 innings of work, which led to the first time in the history of the Cubs franchise that they were able to beat the Yankees on the road, as they take the first game, winning it 3-0. In Game 2, Giancarlo Stanton with 2 home runs in the game, one a wall scraper, the other one an absolute no-doubt shot. Josh Donaldson also goes yard for his 10th home run of the season. He's only got 14 hits on the year. The Yankees answer back. They even the series. They win it 6-3. And in the final game, Seiya Suzuki, he hits a home run for the Cubs to tie the game in the 5th. The Yankees answer with 2 home runs from Anthony Volpe and Kyle Higashioka to retake the lead. The Cubs would score 3 runs in the 7th to tie the game back up, and after a 2-run single from Yan Gomes, they would eventually take their first lead on a Suzuki sac fly, which would score the eventual winning one as the Cubs would add 2 more. They take the series versus the Yankees in Yankee Stadium for the first time ever. They win it 7-4. The Blue Jays and the Tigers. Alek Manoah is back, and he has a promising start as he Ks 8 in 6 innings, while George Springer and Whit Merrifield go deep. The Blue Jays cruise to a nice 12-2 win. In Game 2, a double from Torkelson and a triple from Kerry Carpenter scored 2 runs in the first inning, and that's all the Tigers could get, but thankfully that was enough as Matt Manning, Jason Foley, and Alex Lang combined to no-hit the Blue Jays. Tigers can celebrate. They win that game and even the series 2-0. And in the final game, jumping to the end of this rubber match, the Tigers are up 2 in the 9th, trying to close out this game, but Danny Jansen has other plans. He saves the day. A 2-run home run ties this game up and sends it to extras, where the Blue Jays get a run on a hit from Nathan Lukes, and then Jordan Romano shuts the door as the Jays win it. They take 2 of 3 against Detroit and win that last game 4-3. The Oilers are in Minnesota taking on the Twins. Some nice pitching from Ober, and Irvin has this game tied at 1, heading to extras where the O's get 2 runs in their half of the inning. Felix Bautista comes in and holds the Twins as the Oilers take the first game. They win it 3-1. In Game 2, the Oilers ride a 6-run second inning for the whole game as Tyler Wells shuts down the Twins for 6 innings. Baltimore takes another, winning it 6-1. And in the final game, Baltimore ends this first half by scoring 7 runs in the 5th and 6 runs in the 6th, including 6 home runs from Austin Hayes, Ramon Urias, Aaron Hicks, Adley Rutschman, and Anthony Santander with 2 home runs. They blow out the Twins. They get the sweep. They look good. They win it 15-2. The Royals and the Guardians, they'll play a 4-game set. And in the first game, 3 home runs for the Guardians. Andres Jimenez, Jose Ramirez, and Josh Naylor. They win the first game, beating the Royals 6-1. In Game 2, Aaron Savali keeps the Royals down. Only 2 hits through 7 innings. While on the other hand, Josh Bell, a 2-run home run, secures another win for the Guardians as they take it 3-0. In the third game, the Guardians scored runs in 6 of 8 innings for a total of 10 runs, all of which without a home run. The Royals would try to keep up, but eventually they'll fall short. The Guardians take once more another game. They win it 10-6, and in the final game, after the Guardians scored the first run of the game, Kyle Isbell responded with his second home run of the year to tie the game up. And the next inning, the Royals scored 3 more runs. The Royals pen then hold the Guardians for the rest of the game as they salvage the series. They take 1 of the 4 games and beat the Guardians in that final one there, winning it 4-1. We've got the Cardinals and the White Sox, 2 teams who've had tough first halves, one of which definitely had a poor first half. In the first game, the Cardinals would be leading this game up 5 with the help of a home run from Nolan Arenado, but then the White Sox went on attack. They scored 5 runs in the 6th and took the lead, so Nolan had to hit another home run in the game to put the Cardinals back up. And that lead lasted a whole good half inning before the White Sox took it right back with the Luis Robert Jr. home run and then a bases-loaded walk. The White Sox take the opener. They win it 8-7. In Game 2, Miles Mikolas keeps the White Sox at bay for 7 innings while they put up a couple of runs, including a home run from Jordan Walker, as the Cardinals even up the series with a win 3-0. And in the final game, jumping to the end in this one, the Cardinals find a way to tie up the ball game in the 9th and send it to extras, where Paul DeJong double brings in the run that would eventually end up being the winning run for the Cardinals as they take the series and hopefully could put this awful first half behind them as they beat the White Sox 4-3. Moving on, the Mariners and the Astros will play a 4-game set. It's an ALDS rematch from last year, and this is an AL West clash. 2 heavyweight teams, well, should be heavyweight teams. And it starts the Mariners using the long ball. Eugenio Suarez, he hits 2 home runs in the game. J.P. Crawford gets a hold of one for his 8th of the year. The Mariners take the first game. They win it 5-1. In Game 2, the Mariners didn't come to Houston to mess around. In the 4th inning, they exploded for 9. Yes, 9 runs scored in the inning, all without a home run to blow this one out of their reach. Mike Ford hit his 8th home run of the year in the 9th late as a cherry on top, as the M's take another game, beating the Astros 10-1. In the 3rd game, this game was much closer than the last one, as we would be tied at 2 from the 4th inning onward until the 8th, where the most unlikely of home run hitters, Martin Maldonado, hit a solo shot to break the tie and put the Astros in front, which led to a win for them as they take it 3-2. And in the final game, Martin Maldonado hit another home run in this game for the Astros, only run in it. The Mariners were able to win the game on a 2-run double from Jared Kelenic, as the Mariners take an important series. They win 3 of 4 against their big brother, the Astros, win that last game 3-1. The Rangers and the Nationals in the first game. Joey Meneses hits 2 home runs in the game for the Nats, but the Rangers get bombs from Adolis Garcia and Corey Seager, as the Rangers are able to take the first game. They win it 7-2. In Game 2, Yeimer Candelario and Joey Meneses go back-to-back in the first inning, and that is followed up by an Alex Call 2-run shot, as the Nats would have an 8-run lead after the first 3 innings and are able to ride that out for the rest of the game as they beat the Rangers to even the series 8-3. And in the final game, the rubber match, Dominic Smith and Stone Garrett hit home runs in the game for the Nats, as well as Joey Meneses for 1 more, for a total of 4 in the series and 6 on the year. Not only did he double his total, he added an extra. The Nats finished the half beating the Rangers in a series. They take the last game, winning it 7-2. Phillies and the Marlins, little battle in the NL East for 2nd and 3rd. And in the first game, after being down 3, the Phillies get their first run of the game on a JT Realmuto home run. And then in the 9th, they get a run on a double from Alec Bohm, and then a 2-run go-ahead pinch hit home run from Christian Pache put the Phillies in front as they steal one from the Finns in comeback fashion, beating the Marlins 4-3. In Game 2, Trey Turner and Jorge Soler trade solo shot bombs in the first, and would be tied until a sac fly in the 4th to put the Marlins in front. They would add an insurance run late as they even the series, beating the Phillies 5-3. And that puts up our rubber match in Game 3, where 3 Marlins hit home runs. Jesus Sanchez, Brian De La Cruz, and Dane Myers with his first career home run. The Finns win it. They take 2 of 3 versus the Phillies, winning that last game 7-3. The Reds and the Brewers, a battle for the NL Central right now, and in Game 1, a couple of 2-run shots from Joey Wiemer, there it is, and Willy Adames carries the Brewers offense past the Reds as they beat them and take the opener, winning it 7-3. In Game 2, Willy Adames continues his home run from last game with 2 more in this game as he would help the Brewers get a 3-run lead, which would be completely erased as the veteran Canadian Joey Votto hit a 3-run home run to tie it up for the Reds. And don't let Ellie get on base, because after an RBI single from De La Cruz, that broke the tie and put the Reds in front, and then he went on to steal 2nd and 3rd and home to get the Reds a 2nd run, as that electricity is part of the reason the Reds win it. They even up the series, taking it 8-5. And in the final game, a Jesse Winker single scored the only run of the game, as the pitchers in this one combined for 11 hits and 19 Ks. The Brewers get an important series win to end the first half, winning it 1-0. The Angels and the Dodgers, a quick 2-game set for the Battle of LA. And in the first game, the Dodgers were swinging for the fences as Freddie Freeman, JD Martinez, Mookie Betts with 2 home runs, and Will Smith, a total of 5 home runs for the Dodgers, While the Angels could only get 2 from Mickey Moniak and Mike Moustakas, the Dodgers take Game 1. They win it 11-4. And in Game 2, the Dodgers followed their 5-homer game from yesterday with yet another 5-homer game, as it started with a Mookie Betts leadoff home run, followed by Max Muncy, then Freddie Freeman, and finally David Peralta. Shohei Ohtani hit his 32nd home run of the year, but the Angels fall short to the Dodgers. They get the 2-game sweep over them, winning it 10-5. The Mets and the Padres, 2 struggling teams that spent money and a lot of it this offseason. They should be good, and they are not. We have an NL wildcard matchup rematch from last year, and a Lindor home run would help the Mets catch up to the Padres, as we would end up needing extras, where the Mets would rally for 4 runs in the 10th, which turned out to be important, as a 2-run home run from Manny Machado only allowed the Padres to cut the lead in half. As the Mets take the opener, they win it 7-5. In Game 2, Blake Snell continues his dominance with another stellar outing, while Matthew Batten hit his first Major League home run for the Padres, which would help them get the win as they even the series 3-1. And in the rubber match Game 3, Musgrove's 7 Ks, Manny Machado has himself a night. 2 home runs, driving in 5 of the Padres' 6 runs. As the Padres take 2 of 3 versus the Mets, they win it 6-2. Continuing on now, we've got the Pirates and the Diamondbacks. Game 1, Lourdes Gurriel Jr. would have a very productive day at the plate, going 3 for 4 with a home run, 2 doubles, 4 RBIs, a walk, and a stolen base. Zach Gallen finishes a very great first half with 7 innings of 1-run baseball, as Diamondbacks take the first game versus the Pirates, winning it 7-3. In Game 2, Alek Thomas with a solo shot in the 8th would tie this game up and send it to extras, where the Pirates would get a run, but the Diamondbacks answer with 2. And of course, Corbin Carroll is your hero with a walk-off single, as the Diamondbacks once again beat the Buccos. They take it 3-2. And in the final game, Ji-Man Choi with a 2-run home run would have the Pirates out in front. And even though the Diamondbacks were able to tie the game with another home run from Alek Thomas, this time the Pirates responded with a couple of runs late, as they were able to win the last game and avoid the sweep as they take it 4-2. And lastly here, we've got the Rockies and the Giants. Game 1, 3 home runs made up this game, as a 2-run shot from Ryan McMahon put the Rockies out in front until Brandon Crawford tied it with a 2-run shot of his own. And it would remain that way until the 7th, where Ezequiel Tovar hit a 3-run home run for the Rockies to regain the lead, as that would be the difference in this one. Colorado wins it 5-2. In Game 2, the Giants ride with a couple of 2-run home runs from Michael Conforto and Austin Slater, as they beat the Rockies to even up the series, taking it 5-3. And for the final game, JD Davis hit a solo home run as the only run in the game, as Logan Webb does it for the Giants with a complete game shutout, punching out 10 Rockies for one of his best games of his career. The Giants win it and take 2 of 3 from the Rockies, winning it 1-0. There you go. That is how we end our first half of series recaps. For Game of the Weekend, we don't really need one because we're talking about the Tigers' combined no-hitter. It's the 20th ever combined no-no in the history of MLB. It's the first ever in the Tigers' history, of course. We had Matt Manning, who pitched majority of the game, going 6 2/3 innings. Before Jason Foley came in to relief, he finished up the 7th inning and then also pitched in the 8th, which turned the ball over to Alex Lang, who finished it in the 9th with an inning. The last time we had a combined no-hitter was in the most recent World Series, Game 4, between the Phillies and the Astros. The Astros were able to no-hit the Phillies. They used Christian Javier for 6 innings, Brian Abreu for 1, Rafael Montero for 1, and ended it with Ryan Presley all for 1 in game 4 there. If you want to look to our last time there was a no-hitter in regular season baseball, that would have been between the Astros and the Yankees on June 25th, 2022, where it was once again Christian Javier with eating the innings with 7. Hector Neris, he got 1, and then Ryan Presley finished it off for 1. It's a great moment for the Tigers. Obviously, they're a team that is not going to be having much success this year. Playoffs do not look bright for them. But hey, it was a nice way to end your first half. We'll see what kind of spark that brings them over to carrying on into the second half. Obviously, for all-star reasons, they only have Michael Lorenzen on those teams, but it'll be interesting to see what the Tigers can do. Obviously, that AL Central division is pretty easy. Obviously, I think any team really, whether it's the Guardians, Twins, Tigers, or White Sox, really, besides the Royals, if one of those teams get hot, win like 10 or 15 games, all of a sudden they could jump to first place in that division. That division is a cakewalk, the worst division in baseball. If the Tigers want any chance of playoff baseball, it would be through the division, not through the wild card, because you have a lot of teams from the AL East and the AL West fighting for those 3 spots. But yeah, congratulations to the Tigers. The combined no-hitter was very well done, and good for them. Continuing on with some baseball news, let's take a look at the All-Star substitutions. We have quite a few changes that were made, whether it was due to injury or just wanting to spend time with family. Some of these players have decided not to play in the All-Star game, or obviously forced if it's injury. The first thing to mention is that Adolis Garcia from your Texas Rangers and Austin Hayes from your Baltimore Oilers, they have made the starting outfield. Excuse me. Obviously, Trout injured, Judge injured, so those 2 guys will take the place. And for the Rangers, with Adolis Garcia joining, that's 5 Texas Rangers that will be starting in Seattle. What are we doing here? Mariners fans will not be happy with that. Jonah Heim, Marcus Semien, Corey Seager, Josh Jung, and now Garcia all starting for the AL team. Pretty crazy stuff there. Moving on now more to the substitutions. The first one we have here is Carlos Estevez from your Los Angeles Angels. He will be joining the All-Star team in replacement of Emmanuel Clase. Geraldo Perdomo from the Diamondbacks, he's in it now instead of Dansby Swanson, who is now injured. Kodai Senga is a All-Star in his first season over Marcus Stroman, with injury there. Alex Cobb from your Giants, he replaces Bryce Elder from your Braves. Craig Kimbrell from the Phillies, he'll be in the All-Star game for once again. It seems like he's been in a lot of All-Star games over his long tenure career. He replaces Devin Williams. Corbin Burns is in it for Spencer Strider, who has decided to opt out there. Pablo Lopez from your Twins, he joins it. Kevin Gausman from your Jays, he's decided to spend the week with his family. He's decided to opt out. And lastly here, Jordan Romano is back, his second All-Star game after the one last season. He's in it now for Framber Valdez. Some of those guys are obviously injured, other ones not so much. Either way, let's talk Dansby Swanson now. Swanson, he's on the 10-day IL with a left heel contusion. Obviously, we mentioned that Perdomo from the Diamondbacks will be taking his place. That is why. So we'll see how the Cubs answer without him in the lineup come the start of second half of the season. But that is the All-Star news. That is the All-Star substitutions there. And we're pretty much set for the All-Star game at this point. The Home Run Derby clear as day. All-Star game tomorrow on Tuesday. I'm really excited for that. So there you go. And now really the last thing to do today is talk about our outstanding performances for the weekend. And we'll start with the guy who's returned to the majors, Alek Manoah. 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, 8 Ks. Jameson Taillon with the Cubs, 8 innings pitched, 1 hit, no earned runs, 2 walks, 4 Ks. That was against his former team in the Yankees. Charlie Morton, the old guy, 6 1/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, and 6 Ks. Tyler Glasnow, the Giraffe, 5 2/3 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 8 Ks. Aaron Savali with the Guardians, 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, no walks, 9 Ks. Obviously, Matt Manning, the big part of the Tigers' no-hitter, 6 2/3 innings pitched, no hits, no earned runs, 3 walks, and 5 Ks. Mitch Keller finishing off his incredible first half, 7 innings pitched, 1 hit, no earned runs, 5 walks, 4 Ks there. Luis Castillo with your Mariners, 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, no earned runs, no walks, and only 3 Ks there. Patrick Corbin had a surprisingly good start against the Rangers, 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 6 Ks. Miles Mikolas with your Cardinals, 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, no earned runs, no walks, 6 Ks. Obviously, Spencer Strider, who is dominant as well, 6 1/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, and 11 strikeouts. Logan Gilbert, 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, 6 Ks. Joe Musgrove, 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, no walks, and 7 Ks. Obviously, we had Logan Webb, the complete game shutout, 9 innings pitched, 7 hits, no runs, no walks, and 10 strikeouts. And lastly, here we have Blake Snell, 6 innings pitched, 1 hit, no earned runs, 3 walks, and 11 Ks. For Blake Snell, since May 25th, he's pitched in 9 games. He's thrown 53 innings, and he's only allowed 4 runs. That's an ERA of 0.68. He's walked 22 batters in those games, and he has struck out 84 batters. What a stretch for Blake Snell. That is our outstanding performances, one of our longest outstanding performances we've ever done, really. And yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap up this episode today. As mentioned, it would be a shorter episode. Yeah, we got the All-Star week coming up. What to expect on Friday? Excuse me, we're going to be talking about the Futures game, which happened 2 days ago. The draft for the MLB, which happened yesterday. The Home Run Derby, which happens today. And the All-Star game, which happens tomorrow. All 4 of those things will be talked about Friday, as well as a couple teams, you know, who's got some easy schedules, who's got the nice story, who could make postseason. We enter the second half on Friday. The dog days of summer are upon us. I'm looking forward to it. I'm very interested to see what I could find in terms of storylines and everything. But that will do it for us today. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for a great first half. I will see you guys Friday with the All-Star break news, as well as the beginning of the second half of the baseball season. Have a good day, everybody. Good night, wherever you are, whenever you're listening to this. Thank you so much, and I'll see you Friday.